I went for my flying. I traveled back to India. There were no jobs because Kingfisher shut down.
The big story in aviation, Kingfisher has declared a partial lockout.
At that point of time, there were not many airlines. People were just sitting at home.
Being a pilot, man, takes so much pride. How do you feel about it?
I'm always looking for some kind of challenge in my life.
You did your aviation from US. I think you had an option to continue it in US.
Yes, I had. But you need more experience to join an airline.
Being a girl, entering an industry which is very male predominant, how did that feel?
I think every industry is male dominated industry, if you take it as that.
Any one incident you'd like to share where it might have been an emergency and you might have handled very well?
One big emergency, which in aviation, people had aircraft crash.
Welcome to Young Tycoon Spawn. So this new podcast, which we have today, it's very different from the one I'd say from a business perspective. This is a lady who's achieved what she wanted to and is following her passion today. She's a fabulous and phenomenal pilot. And her story might help many young girls who want to pursue something and want to get a name like Captain in their profile. So let's welcome Barka Chaudhary today. Hello, Barka Chaudhary. Or should I say Captain Barka? I mean, being a pilot, man, takes so much pride. And I feel so proud to call you that. Gives me chills right now. How do you feel about it?
I feel really proud, as in like it's kind of very challenging job. But I've been in with this industry from last 11 years, so I'm kind of settled now.
The
I
experience.
just wear my uniform with pride.
That's great to hear. And seeing a female pilot, that's phenomenal, man. Yeah, girls like me who really want to achieve something, and now all the things that have been going on about girls to be educated and to do something better in life. But here I feel like there's so many stories that are untold. So you being here on Young Time Good Spot is very different from
Okay.
because we're mostly into business. But I really wanted to hear how your point of view has been, how your journey has been, like from the start. How were the struggles? How did you face it?
I have come a long way, in the sense that, frankly speaking,
Yeah. Be
after
open, honest.
after my 10+2, uh, I had no plans to becoming a pilot.
Okay.
I was always fascinated towards becoming a cabin crew.
Right.
So once I completed my graduation, without telling my family, I there was an I saw an ad in the newspaper about cabin crew.
Okay.
If you have heard about this airline, Air Deccan, no,
No.
this goes way back in 2005.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah, so I appeared for the interview. I told my father about it, and he was not very happy because he wanted me to pursue MBA. So I was in
Okay, so
last
you're
year of
from
college.
the commerce background.
Yes, I'm from. I will come to it. I'll tell you
Okay.
the whole story. So I'm from a commerce background. My 10+2 also was from commerce.
Right.
So after I was in last year of college, when because I had been fascinated towards joining aviation industry from the very beginning, and I had
That was
also
because
told
of
that just I don't know why. Just
okay.
I wanted to be a cabin crew.
Right.
And then in the last year of college, I saw this ad and I appeared for the interview. I got selected. And I told my father about it. He was not very happy, but this is what I wanted to do.
So your
So,
feeling was eye on, man.
yes. So I joined. I worked for 1.5 year. But at some point of time, I felt that this is not what I'd be doing throughout my life. I'm always looking for some kind of challenge in my life, as in like
You wanted to
I
try
want to do
something
something
new.
new
Okay.
and something more. What's next? I reach a
Yeah.
point and I will always look forward what is next
So
now.
that kick that keeps on coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was very much interested in the other side of the aircraft, which is the cockpit. So I used to keep questioning my captains, and
Okay.
how to go about it. Since I was from commerce background,
Yeah. This
one
was
of the
what
captain,
age?
I think I was passed out of college, maybe what, 21?
Okay.
No, no,
So at that
21.
point also you thought, oh, now I want to become a pilot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So then I passed out from college. I worked for 1.5 year. So I must be around 22. Yeah,
Okay.
22. So that time I was like, okay. So again, I told my father that, this is what I want to do.
Right.
And again, he was shocked. He was like, "Now again, you want to change your career?
अब अभी तो एक हुआ था
कब
now
settle होगी तू?
again.
कब settle होगी?" So,
Yeah,
but
that
then,
thing comes.
but I was really, really, determined that this is what I want to do, Papa. And he was like, "Will you be able to do it?" I was like, "Yeah, it's not like something a lot of people are doing, and I have guidance." I used to keep asking my captains, how to go about it. And then I enrolled myself in the college. I took out all the information, and I shortlisted a college in
Right.
flying school, sorry, in US, and then I went for my flying.
US?
Yes.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
I
I
did
have
my
one question here.
yeah.
I think for to become a pilot, do we require science or a commerce
Yeah, I'll
background
come
is
to it.
very easy?
I'll come to it.
Okay.
So I knew that you require physics and maths in 10+2,
Yeah.
which I was from commerce background. So
Right.
what happened was I went for my flying. I was there for 6 months. I traveled back to India, gave my physics and maths exam,
Mm.
and then went back for my flying.
Damn,
So
that's hard to actually
that was
change
hard. That
your.
was hard because I took tuitions for physics and maths.
Hmm.
I came back. I took tuitions. In the meanwhile, I was preparing for physics and maths. So I came back. I gave my exams, and this whole situation I was in, my father was very doubtful that what you're doing. I was like, no, I know what I'm doing.
But he was still there to support you.
Always. He has always supported me throughout, financially, mentally, everything. I had full support of my family, my mother, father,
That's
both.
lovely.
Yeah, they believed in me that what she's doing, she
I
knows
think
what she's
that's what
doing.
matters the most.
Yeah, there were doubts. Initial doubts were there when I started, but then after that, once I started it, and I was doing it with full, determination. I was
That
I was there in
confidence.
US, and I had no clue how it is done, but still I went for it. I had very less information about how you go about CPL, how many hours you require, but still I went for it.
That's
And
great.
then after giving my physics and maths, I went back. I finished my flying. I came back. By the time I had my result, which I cleared,
Okay.
physics and maths, then
That's
you had to
lovely.
do the license conversion. And after that, there were no jobs because Kingfisher shut down.
Yeah, that
And
was all
that
of a
was a
sudden.
recession time for aviation.
Okay.
So there were no jobs in aviation industry.
And then?
And I had to wait. I had to wait for almost 3 years, 3 to 4 years.
So you weren't on practice with
No, nothing. I was sitting at home. It bogs you down when you
Yeah.
don't have job. You've spent so much on your flying and your training, and you don't know when you're going to get the job because aviation is such industry that you know at that point of time there were not many airlines and there were not many aircrafts. So
Right.
a lot of people were just sitting at home and waiting. But then uh, marriage happened in
Okay.
2010, and luckily after just 1 year of marriage, I appeared for the airline interview and a
Right.
written exam, and I cleared that, and there's no looking back from then in
That
2011.
that is amazing. So
Yeah.
did you like study for that
Yes.
during your the 3-year gap which you had?
Yes, you have to keep yourself updated. You have to. I was doing something or the other because you have to convert your license once because US license is there. It's valid, but you have to come back to India and you have to convert it to DGCA license.
Didn't you think to do it abroad only because you did your aviation from US? So I think you had an option to like continue it in US.
Yes, I had, but there it is a little more. You need more experience to join an airline. You need to
Okay.
have at least 6 to 7 thousand hours once you become a first officer in international airline. Here in India, they will take you as a fresher, as in like if you have CPL license, you have all the requirements, they will take you as a first officer. But in
Okay.
US, no. You need to fly as in general aviation,
Right.
and you have to work for at least 7 to 8 years, which I was not ready for.
Yeah,
So
that is a long time
yeah, that's a
span.
long time.
Okay.
And my father also suggested that why don't you stay back and do your trainer's license, take a trainer's license, you can become a trainer there.
Right.
Yeah, so you can train the young students. But I was not ready for that. I wanted to fly the big machine.
Oh, big aims.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
Yes,
great.
yes.
But being a girl entering an industry which is very male predominant, how did that feel? Was there any, you know, obviously there are many downhills, but did people, say things like, okay, you can't do that? It's not meant for you because I'm sure you've seen the movie Gunjan Saxena.
Mhm.
All of us are aware about it. there was just one female who was pursuing to become a pilot, and there were all these males trying to pursue her down. No, listen, you can't do it. You don't have that ability in you. Did did that even succumb you somewhere in your career?
See, there have been instances where people have, especially the trainers, or sometimes they just pass a comment, something like that. But it should not bother you if you're thick skinned. It should not bother you. I think every industry is male dominated industry. If you take it as that, like that, the percentage of female in our industry back then when I joined was ratio was maybe 1 in 2 in 15, but now it has improved. You see, 30% of pilots are female pilots, and
That's
more are
great.
coming up. And especially the company I'm working with, I don't think so. They differentiate for them. We are captains and first officers.
That's
Female,
the only
male
best
doesn't
thing.
matter, because once you step inside the cockpit, you're doing the same kind of work, right? You're taking care of your passengers, your crew, and you're the expectations out of you is same, is equivalent to a male captain. So it doesn't matter
For the
that it's a
plane, it's
male
just the
dominant.
person.
Yeah,
right?
it's you're flying a machine,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter. So it depends on person to person how you take it. You just have to be thick skinned, you have to wear your uniform with pride, and you have to be confident with what you're doing. Your training has to be up to the mark, your knowledge, your skills. If it is there, then nothing can bog you down.
Okay. So girls my age who now are actually wanting to accomplish to be a pilot, is that a really good industry for us to now go into this aviation sector?
For females, I would say yes, it's a very good industry, because it gives you flexibility to work, as in like the flexible hours. Sometimes you are flying all night, full day you're available at home. You have flexible timings, and you have such contracts where you are more available to your family, especially when, suppose after you're joining back from maternity, you have
Yeah.
such contracts where you can only work for 2 weeks, and 2 weeks you're there with your family and for your kids.
Oh, that's
So
it does not hamper your work life balance.
no, it doesn't. And so you can create a great balance between your work and your home.
So you do not have an issue with, managing
Initially,
family commitments and the work life.
initially, yes, I had, because initially I was in the phase where I was building my hours. I wanted to become a captain. I wanted to sit in the left seat. So you need to build hours. You need to have certain amount of hours before you come to the left seat. So initially, yes, I used to get very less time to meet my family. So I have missed Holi, Diwali, a lot of festivals. But now, after having my kids, my hours are flexible. I just work for 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
2 weeks I'm home. So I'm with my family. So it's a good work-life balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if your daughter would like to join, would you still love it? I mean, is it okay for you if she joins the same industry, aviation company?
Why not? I mean, I would not stop her if she's really passionate about flying. I would expect her to do whatever she loves to.
Mm.
But aviation, yes, anytime, because it is really a good sector for females.
I think it makes women more independent and strong.
Yes, I think if you're working anywhere, it makes you independent and strong. Not only aviation. Aviation, yes. Why? Because you're flying a big machine.
Yeah. It gives you that
And
sense of confidence.
it's a general misconception that females are not good drivers.
Yeah, I was going to come on that. What
Yeah.
perceptions do people have about, female pilots in general? Because there are many stereotypes.
Yeah.
She's flying the same machine as you are.
Yes.
There's no practical difference. If the plane isn't doing any discrimination, why are you?
Plane doesn't know
Yeah.
it is a female or a male.
Yeah, you just have to reach the destination.
Yeah. So there are misconceptions everywhere that, female are not good drivers or females are not good pilots.
Yeah.
But you just have to prove them wrong. I've had instances where I've got comments from people that, oh, a female is flying is the commander of the airplane. Maybe they have come from an urban background where they have not seen a female. They have only seen them cooking in the house or doing household chores,
Yeah.
but they have not seen them doing such technical things.
Right.
So for them, it is new. And I
Yeah.
don't take them as a negative comment or anything. I just smile at them.
It's just new to their eyes. Oh my god, she can
Yeah.
do that too.
It is new to them, no? So वो थोड़ा सा शॉक में आ जाते हैं, अरे एक फीमेल इज flying the aircraft.
Yeah.
But after landing, it's all gone. Those misconceptions are gone because they know that, okay, she's doing the same kind of work. And I have got so many compliments till now that, flying through a weather or a bad day or irritated passenger or delays. So dealing an emergency. So, and we have handled all the female captains. I'm talking about the entire fraternity.
Right.
They've handled the situations really well. So I don't think so there should be any discrimination.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Any one incident you'd like to share where it might have been an emergency and you might have handled it very well?
It is going to take a long time. It's a long one.
It's okay. You can share that.
Okay, so there is this one big emergency which in aviation people had aircraft crash because of that failure.
Okay.
And that happened right after my first maternity. I'll just give you a background. As in, like, once we come back from the maternity, the break is very long.
Yeah.
It is almost a year and a half, almost,
Okay.
once you start flying. So 1 year is the gap, and then the training takes around 2-3 months, and then you're back to flying. You have some checks, of course. You have simulator checks, you have on the aircraft checks, line checks, and then you start flying. So this was my first takeoff after my maternity, which was a gap of almost 1.5 year.
Okay.
And this flight was from Delhi to Mumbai.
Right.
And on the first takeoff, it was a daytime, and first takeoff, and we lost all the automation. And aircraft was in such state that um, it's a fly-by-wire system. It's very complicated, as in, like, for general mass.
Yeah.
But for us, we have been trained to do, but not every day. We don't face such situations every day. It's a very complex one, a complex failure. So we were in the air, and autopilot failed, auto thrust failed, everything on my screens. The speed was wrong. The indications I was getting were all wrong. So you have to calculate everything, and there is some checklist we have to do. So we were in air for almost 1 hour, because we had to figure out, because we have to get the aircraft in the right state, as in, like, it has all the checklists have to be done, all the SOPs have to be followed.
Right.
And then that is why we were in the air for almost for
Wow.
1 hour. Then after that, we don't land the aircraft in direct law. Direct law is like a conventional aircraft. This is a very sophisticated one. We have computers. Even for any input we are giving, computer is calculating that input,
Yeah.
and then it is moving the surface of the aircraft.
Okay.
So those computers have failed. Now it's a direct.
It's a panic.
It's like a
situation.
Cessna. I am flying. So it is like that. Of course, we have been trained for that, but still, it's a critical situation.
What
It is
do you
not
tell
every
the
day.
passengers if something like that happens?
We just tell them we have a technical failure and we are going back to the airfield. We'll not be able to continue for the flight, but passengers remain calm that day.
Okay.
And everybody was really calm. ATC and everything. I told the controller that we need to come back and land in Delhi. So
Yeah.
we made a safe landing. It was almost after 1.5 year. Oh, sorry, hour.
That might have been a very.
It was a big
know.
emergency, as in, like, technical failure.
And so I'm sure you contact the team on the ground.
Yes,
saying-
yes. There's a thorough check why it happened, what all procedures you followed, whether those procedures were right or wrong, the decision taken was right or wrong. So there is no margin for error in this industry, in aviation. There is in flying, especially
Yeah.
in the cockpit. There is no margin of error, in the sense you have to be fully prepared 100%. As in, like, you cannot just go that I'm 80% prepared or 50% prepared. You have to be
Full and
prepared
on of it.
100%, not 101 but 100%.
Yeah, because I think passengers are already relying on the pilot. That's all they can do.
Yeah. We have
And
to
you
trust.
have like 100, 200 lives to save as of now. And something or the other happens, they'll be like, oh my god, she didn't do well.
Yeah.
So,
All the blame comes to pilot,
Yeah.
Oh, this is
and
what.
I think if it's a female, it's like, okay, what is ought to happen. So, I think it's bad to hear things like that.
Mm.
And you studied in US for the aviation, right? What difference did you see like in the studies in US, or if you might have pursued aviation in US and compared to India?
First of all, when I chose US for as a flying school, the cost difference was much
Yeah.
bigger. Cost difference here, it was costing more. There was, and the flying conditions are much better there. The aircrafts are much better. I don't know the situation right now, but I think even in India, the flying schools are doing really good.
Yeah, I think many people are opting for it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
And now we have cadet pilot program where the airline is giving you this thing training from scratch, as in like from the beginning, from starting from CPL to your ground classes, then comes your simulator training, then comes your type rating. Everything airline is doing. So you're secured with the airline. You already secured a job initially
Yeah.
when you sign the contract with the airline,
Yeah.
and then you move ahead step by step. And then once you come back, you just come back and join the airline.
That's
You
great.
don't have to wait. Though, you have to wait for a year or so if there is a lag in training, as in there are a lot of people ahead of you waiting for the
So
training.
you have to wait,
You
but
have to wait,
kind
but
of be
you're
in
already
touch.
with the company. You have
Okay.
signed a contract that you're working with the company.
So okay, right. But you have to be in touch there and now because you can't lose touch with that.
No, that is still I have to do every as in like before I'm going for a flight. You have to keep yourself updated.
Yeah, I think in aviation the technology also might change every now and then because I think it's already changing in the real world.
Hmm.
So it's ought to change in the aviation too. So do you also have some exams or something to keep up with the pace or to be in touch with it? Because there might be new machines coming up or something like that, which might make a great deal in the
Yes.
cockpit or something like that.
Every change has to be updated, as in like we have to read through it. We sometimes there has to be an exam for it. So any change, we have to know about it.
Okay.
Suppose we have checks every 6 months. We go through simulator checks training every 6 months. We have yearly route checks, which is line flying checks.
Yeah.
Then we have refreshers where we go through all the systems once in a year. And then if there is an update, suppose I'm flying a 320 aircraft,
Yeah.
then I'm next day I'm flying 321. So for that also, if there is any, there are some few changes, not many, but there are few changes.
So what is the difference between these planes?
The seat capacity, the technique to land the aircraft is little different.
Okay, that's great. I mean, obviously you have to keep updating yourself as in school में भी होता है हर चीज में होता है it's in every career you opt for. Also there's one thing I've noticed whenever we're on a plane depends on the location also and I think the weather there's this turbulence which happens almost nerve-wrenching. You're like, oh my god, what is happening? And then you keep on asking the air hostess, what's up, man? Is this some failure or something is up? What's actually going on in the cockpit?
I think yes, it can make you nervous even when I travel as passenger, because I don't get to see what is ahead.
Yeah.
You don't get to see what is ahead, right?
Yeah.
There is just a small window where you can look out, but you are not actually able to make out which cloud we are going to enter.
Yeah.
So light turbulence doesn't matter, it's okay. And अगर किसी पैसेंजर ने कमेंट किया है कि ओ लेडी पायलट, फिर तो आई टेल देम बकल अप योर सीट, इट इज गोइंग टू बी टर्बुलेंट.
Good one.
So it is like ठीक है. Or but we have all the information on the screens available.
Oh.
We have weather radar,
Yeah.
and with experience also the kind of judgment we use that ये cloud खराब होने वाला है, this we can enter, ये
अच्छा.
थोड़ा बहुत turbulence देगा, this is
Okay.
dangerous. So with it comes with experience also, training also, and we have system in place where the weather radar is there, and it is very reliable one which tells us, okay, you have to avoid this cloud, you cannot enter in this one. So we
Okay,
avoid,
there's a backup system which is ready for you to.
there's a screen
Okay.
on we call it ND. So
Right.
it paints a weather radar, like how you see on your if you open your phone, there are some websites which tells you about there is a red patch, there is a green patch.
Yeah.
Same kind of picture we get in aircraft.
Okay.
So if there is a severe weather or any storm or something, we come to know about it, and then we have documents updated. Then we check the weather before going for a flight, that okay, at that time of landing it is
Right.
going to be raining,
So
or
that is where the delay or the
delay is
yeah,
there.
occurs,
We
yeah.
try to delay. If suppose now IROPS are going to start, IROPS is the time when we have low visibility
Okay.
around the winter time.
Right.
So we come to know, we are always already informed about the weather, kind of weather we are going to face. So we have the information. So we take a call whether we continue or
Okay,
we
depends.
wait for the
Yeah,
weather.
how the
Sometimes we
weather
are
is.
holding in air for almost 10 to 15 minutes for weather to pass. It just takes around maximum 15 to 20 minutes for a storm or
Okay.
a severe thunderstorm to pass.
Right.
So we wait for that.
Also, there have been incidents where the plane has vanished. I mean, there is some black hole or something, but I don't remember the name exactly what plane it was. But I saw the series. There was this plane and it just vanished out of nowhere. It was, I think, above the sea. I don't remember the sea's name also, but
MH, you're talking about Malaysia?
yeah, yeah, I think it was that one.
It is still not discovered where that plane went. They're still searching for it. They're still searching for the flight data recorder, black box. They're still not able to find it. So still, it's a mystery that where that aircraft vanished. Still, it's
It
a
will be
mystery for us.
heart-wrenching
Even I
for the
saw that series
families.
in because जितना information आपके पास है उतना हमारे पास है उसके लिए.
Acha.
Even we don't have more information about that aircraft.
What does the black box play a part in this?
Black box is it's like a recorder. What we are conversing, there is a digital flight data recorder which records the systems. What is happening with the computers? When have you taken the flaps? When you have taken the landing gear? What's going on with the engines? It records all that, and there is a black box which records our conversation. That's a CVR that we call it,
Right.
and it's recording our conversation with the ATC, with fellow pilot, with technician, with everyone.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when the plane crashes or something happens,
Yeah, they
people
are
usually
looking for
look for
two
the-
major things, which is the DFDR and the black box.
so that they understand why
What-
did it happen,
huh,
what went wrong.
How and what happened.
Okay. And the last thing that I really want to ask you, what is this one advice you'll give to our generation who are seeking to get into this industry?
One advice would be this is not an easy job to do. It has, you really have to be really determined, and because it is very challenging field.
Okay.
If you see the hours, kind of hours, we have to get up at, sometimes I'm getting up at 2 a.m. Sometimes I'm going to sleep at 4 a.m. Sometimes I'm awake whole night.
Yeah.
So if you're flexible, if you're ready to put in that much, effort,
Right.
and you're okay with the flexibility of work time, then you have to keep yourself really physically fit and keep yourself updated. It's not a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
It's like it's been 11 years working with the company, but still, if I'm going for the flight, I have to prepare myself as much as a person who has just joined has to prepare. Experience
It's
is
the
there.
same.
Experience is there.
Yeah.
But again, I have to put that much effort. Maybe a person going for an office job can say कि ठीक है यार आज हम 50% prepared हैं, कोई बात नहीं चलेगा, इधर नहीं
You
चलेगा.
guys still have to come up with that smile and everything. even of
Smile.
waking up.
अगर कुछ हो गया aircraft में, who is responsible? You are responsible for it.
Right.
A person who is not ready to put that much effort and hard work should not come in this industry.
Yeah.
But if you're really passionate about something, and I think it's about all the other careers also.
Yeah.
If you want to pursue something, if you're passionate about something, you should go for it. Love what you do what you love.
That's a really great line.
And one more line I want to give you is if you want to predict the future, you have to create it. So you have to put in
Agreed.
your hard work in anything you want to do. You have to put if you're passionate about, just follow it.
I think the young girls and the boys are really gonna pursue what they want to now. Hearing your story, and I think the young girls who are not ready to come up with anything might get influenced by you and get in that power. Oh man, if she's done it, I think I can do it too. So thank you so much for coming on Young Tycoon Spot, bringing up such a good spark. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Ananya. You're doing really good.
Thank you.